everyone. Welcome back to the final episode of Bruin Banter. Bruin Banter. I hope you all heard by now, but your UCLA Bruins are now NCAA National Champions!
2018.
Women's gymnastics. Up there, right on the wall of Poly Pavilion.
It's official.
It's official, guys. Would you say it was one of the most, the greatest comebacks in history, Joe?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know how you guys did it, but it was amazing. Oh my God.
We had amazing coaches, that's why, Joe.
Oh.
You did it!
Yeah, I got that.
I want to introduce our volunteer assistant coach, Jordyn Wieber.
Hey guys, I'm so honored to be
It
here.
has been a while.
I haven't been on Bruin Banter
been on it?
in a couple of years.
Wow.
So this is the first time you've been on it as a coach.
This is exciting. So you came up to me after I did my beam routine, and you were telling me you were having an anxiety attack. Can you tell me what it felt like to actually know the score that we needed to win the national championship title?
I am a million times more nervous as a coach than I ever was as an athlete. Like as an athlete, it's like, I got this, I'm confident, I'm solid, but as a coach, it's like, I'm allowed to be nervous, right? So I'm standing there, you guys can't see me because I'm behind the corral, like behind the team, and I'm like walking around, I'm pacing, I'm like touching my legs like this, and I'm so nervous because I'm like watching the scoreboard the whole time. And I knew right before you went that we needed like a 9.99, basically a 10. We needed a 10 to win, and I'm like, Pang can do that. Like she can get a 10. So every time you stuck one of your skills, I was like, oh my God. And then you stuck another skill, I was like, oh my God. And then by the end, I just lost it, and the anxiety attack was from me wanting it so bad for you guys, and just knowing that we could do it.
How was NCAA's different than the Olympics? Because winning both is such an honor, but I feel like there's two different aspects to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously a big difference being an athlete and a coach, like I said, but it's just, you can't really compare them. People have been asking me that question. I feel like they asked Kyla and Madison the same question. It's so different. For the Olympics, you come together with your team about a month before the Olympics. You really don't train every single day all year together like you guys do. So I feel like that bond is really strong in the Olympics, but it's even stronger with a college team because you guys go through literally everything together every single day. I mean, they're both so sweet. I mean, so surreal. It was really great to win, and it's a new experience for me to win as a coach. It feels just as good.
Where does your coaching inspirations come from? Because I feel like being an athlete is very different than coaching. Like, do you take coaching tips from when you were coached as an athlete, or is it coming from Jordyn Wieber, the insides?
It's a total combination of my experience as an athlete, my experience as a team manager the first 3 years that I was here, because even though I was, moving the mats and doing all these things, I was watching, I was observing, I was listening to Valerie and Chris and Randy. I was listening to what they do as coaches, trying things out, figuring out my own coaching style. I wouldn't say that I want to be just like another coach, but I take a lot of inspiration from Val, a lot from Chris, a lot from Randy. And I'm still a new coach. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to coach. And I also take a lot from my psychology degree because I majored in psychology, and gymnastics is 70% mental, I would say, 30% physical. I've always believed that. So it's a huge combination of things.
I forgot she was a psychology major.
No, I mean, it's perfect because then you can really understand where the athlete is coming from and then apply your degree too. That's perfect.
Right.
Besides winning the national championship, what was another rewarding moment in coaching this year?
Can I say like 3?
Yeah.
Okay, because honestly, I'm not just saying this because you're one of the hosts of Bruin Banter, but watching you do your floor team and senior meet was really awesome for me, just because I really enjoyed coaching you, and you're just the most amazing performer I've ever seen, and that was a big highlight for me. Another highlight was being #1 in the nation on floor. That was pretty cool, just because I felt like endurance wasn't where it needed to be, and I really just took a look at the calendar and figured out, okay, how can I come up with a plan that's going to keep them to be able to sustain all throughout season, get their endurance up so that when we go to Super 6, floor is easy and they're not struggling on their last passes. So to see that pay off was really cool for me as a coach. Caitlin obviously going viral with her floor routine. I didn't choreograph it, but just watching it like that, I mean, that was amazing. You can't top that.
So you mentioned that you had to change your strategy a little bit after nationals. So how did you come up with your plan? Was it you and the coaching staff, or did you really talk to the athletes before going into summer? Because summer is kind of the time where, you know, everyone's kind of dispersing and it's hard to get everyone on the same plan.
Yeah. Well, as you guys know, after nationals last year, we had this team meeting and we said, okay, we're gonna do things differently this year. The main thing that you guys did as athletes was anyone that wanted to learn new skills learned them in spring quarter. They learned them last year in June. And if you wanted to compete them, you had to have them by September. And you look at the difference between, especially our tumbling passes on floor. We had so many more difficult tumbling passes this year because you guys worked on them earlier.
Do you want to coach other events as well?
Yes. I mean, whenever I'm done coaching floor, I always kind of like scoot over to beam a little bit, and like, because I love beam. Beam was my favorite event as an athlete, and Val is obviously an amazing beam coach. I mean, we have the best beam team in the country, so I love learning from her. I like just helping anybody that I can. So as soon as I'm done with floor, I just kind of go to the other events.
Tiptoe to beam.
Yeah, it's fun.
What has been the biggest surprise to you as a coach this year?
When Val first asked me to be a coach, I remember thinking, okay, what if I don't know what to say? What if someone's falling on their face? I don't know what correction to give them. You know, that's kind of something you worry about as a new coach. And she always told me, always go to psychology first. When you guys come to college, you've done your skills for so long. You know how to do them. And a lot of times if you're struggling, it's usually not that technical. It's usually something going on up here. So the biggest surprise for me as a coach was I learned this year that sometimes it's better just to go to the psychology of things versus the technical corrections. And that was a big thing that I learned as a coach my first year.
It's really
Very
interesting, especially that you're a psychology major. I bet that was just kind of like, I won't say it came easy, but you kind of understood it.
You know how to apply and understand more.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like when you're younger, you need all the technical stuff, and it's a different transition.
And sometimes it's a little technical fix, but more often than not, it's something going on up here. Yeah.
I have to go back to this one moment at nationals, and I remember you giving Kyla such an emotional hug, and I just want to know what was going on in your mind to win another team title with Kyla.
I love Kyla so much. She's so great. And, you know, obviously we were on the Olympic team together, but, you know, I look at where we are now versus the people we were when we were in the Olympics together. We've just both grown so much, especially Kyla. She's blossomed into this amazing person that I love to coach and I love to be around. I had this moment of like, it feels meant to be that we're both here. We're both Bruins. Because I feel like I was meant to be a Bruin, and I feel like she for sure was meant to be a Bruin, and it's got to be meant to be that we were here together, because that's what it felt when I was hugging her. I was just so proud, and I just love her.
Tweet, 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 tweet. What is the one thing that you learned from your career as a gymnast that you are now applying to your career as a coach?
So a lot of what helped me as an athlete was just when I go out there to compete, it's just all about confidence and knowing that you prepared yourself really, really well. And so that mindset, like especially going into your last pass on the floor when you're tired and you don't know if you can make it, but you got this adrenaline. Yeah, I talked with them a lot about what are you thinking before your last pass? Even if you are tired, you have to know you're gonna make it, and then you'll make it. And that's something I especially worked with Kyla on this year, was just knowing that it's just a double pike. You can do a double pike in your sleep. So that mindset was something I utilized in my gymnastics career and tried to instill in the girls on the floor this year.
How would you describe UCLA gymnastics on floor in 3 words? Love from Germany. # Bruin Banter.
Ooh.
Okay, so the 3 words I'd use to describe the UCLA floor team would be fierce, vibrant, and unique.
She's preaching.
Preaching to the choir. Joe!
Thank you guys for having me in the last Bruin Banter.
Thanks for coming on the show.
My seniors. You're not allowed to leave. I'm just,
We're gonna come
I'm laying
visit.
down the law right now. It's not happening.
Well, I'm visiting.
Yep.
Not gonna hover, but I'll visit, you know.
We'll be in the stands next year, and if you ever need backup dancers on floor,
yeah.
we'll be there. So this is our last Bruin Banter of 2018.
Thank you, Bruin fans, so much for tuning in all year long. It has really been such a special journey.
You guys have been awesome. You've been so supportive, and we couldn't have asked for a better way to end our senior careers. All right, Joe, are you ready for the last Bruin Banter melody of this year?
The last,
one.
I guess.
The last one.
You ready?
Yep.
5, 6, 7, 8. Bruin Banter, Bruin Banter.